and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Planetary Annihilation Titans, or the original, it doesn't really matter, whatever you want to say. We are going to be discussing some of the new basic units in today's video, and yeah, I'm going to give you a little demo of what's hip and happening, how they play, what they do, how much they cost and whatnot, and just give you a rundown of what the units are and how they are going to impact you and your Planetary Annihilation games. Okay, so the first thing is we are checking out the additional unit that was added to the bot factory. And this is called the Spark, and the description states it's a Tesla bot, very high damage over an area, uses energy, attacks land targets. Okay, so this is the unit that I'm demonstrating now on screen. This is a post commentary, by the way, so just an FYI for you there. It's a pretty good counter to the early sort of strategy of perhaps using boom bots or the classic Dox rush to the enemy base. The Spark is a little bit more expensive than the other bots in the bot building area, I guess. It costs 105 metal to build. It draws 200 energy. So that's its charge. That's the ammo, and it does 160 damage over 2 seconds, and it has 130 health. So to compare that to a Dox costs 45 metal to build. It's got 40 health, and it does 10 damage over 1 second. So as you can see, we're changing things up a little bit here. But yeah, this is actually probably one of my favorite new units. I think it really is very different to anything that we have seen before. It's not really, an area of effect unit is not something that's really been present. I mean, the Grenadier sort of, but the area of effect was so minute that I suppose it wasn't even an area of effect, but whatever. So yeah, this is one of my probably favorite new units that we can see in here. Now, as you can see, I'm about to engage on some units of Jake's. Me and Jake, we did some experimenting, and yeah, I'm engaging his factories, and as you can see, they do a fair amount of damage considering I've only got a few of them there. However, we haven't really seen it tested out on units, so we're going to get some units in there in a second to see what is going on. So yeah, as you can see, it's a fairly early counter to the bot rush, but yeah, definitely one of my favorite units, and something that I would think is quite powerful. It's quite powerful. Now I'm not entirely sure if this is available only in Titans or if it's also available in the original Planetary Annihilation. I think it's available in the original Planetary Annihilation as well. I'm gonna say it is. But yeah, as you can see, just totally wrecking these Doxes over here. There's not many of them, but yeah, we're wrecking them. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure if it's available in the original Planetary Annihilation. I think it is. Yeah, it is. Okay, fine. Let's just take it as it is. But yeah, definitely in Titans it's available, and if you're not aware of what Titans is, then what have you been doing with your life? It's the brand new expansion. It's a standalone game for Planetary Annihilation. It's super cool. I really like it. It adds a bunch of new experimental units that I'm going to cover in a future video, and it adds loads more advanced units as well. So overall, very exciting to see a lot of new stuff coming to Planetary Annihilation. All right, so now we are heading on to the second type of unit. Now, this can be made in the vehicle factory, and it is called the Drifter. Now, the Drifter is a hover tank, right? And the description states, hover tank, fast, can cross water and lava, attacks land and sea targets. Alright, so I think this is really going to change up the dynamic on the lava planet, because before on the lava planet, you were protected. You were protected from the. You're protected if you had a base next to lava, because only air units could reach you on the lava. Yeah, I think they look really cool as well. I really like the way that they've been designed, more so than the Spark. The Spark's all right, but the Drifter is really rather cool. But yeah, I really like it, and I think it's really going to change up the dynamic on the lava planet. I think people will more frequently go vehicle now. I mean, I've never really seen the need to go for a standard vehicle build. I usually go for some cheap expendable bots until I've got enough resources to go to advanced factories. And then advanced vehicles, yeah, they're really good. The tanks are very powerful. I thoroughly enjoy it. You can see that we're boarding the water now. I've taken out a couple of ships, and I'm going to head to destroy the naval yards that Jake has built I am attacking these turrets. As you can see, they're not super powerful. They've got 250 health. It's the same as the Bolo. Bolo's also got, that's the standard tank. It's got 250 health as well, but it does a little bit more damage over a little longer time. It's almost the same as the Bolo, effectively. But yeah, it does go on water, so that is great. And as you can see, absolutely tearing down all of the defenses that have been erected around here. So that's absolutely fine. I thoroughly enjoy the Drifter. I think it's really interesting, and it's gonna make a nice interesting change to the vehicle build and what we've got. It's been a while since we've seen a new vehicle unit, and it's only fair if the bots get a new unit, then the vehicles should get one too. So that is absolutely fine with me. And yeah, I think this is going to be used especially on the lava planets, maybe on Earth planets and tropical planets and whatnot, but definitely on the lava planet. As you can see, they're not resistant to airstrikes, not at all. They cannot attack air targets. Alright, so moving on to the next type of unit, the next unit that is available, and this is the Icarus, and the description states, solar drone, produces energy, mobile but slow, weak, attacks land, air, and sea targets. This is probably the most overpowered unit in the update. It is immensely powerful. It is crazy. It's absolutely insane. So basically, it costs 125 metal to build, which is cheaper than a hummingbird, cheaper than a bumblebee, just twice as expensive as a scout, basically, and about the same price as a pelican. It does draw 100 energy when it charges up, but if it uses energy as ammo, then I am totally cool with that. I am down with that. The only problem that I can foresee is if you run into a sticky situation where you don't have any energy and you need to repel everybody. But as you can see, absolutely wrecking everything here, and the fact that they attack all types of units makes this probably one of the most powerful units in the update. It does 25 damage over 1 second. So as you can see, it's weak. It is weak, but at the same time, you can build so many, and they do swarm, and obviously, fighters, hummingbirds do take them out, but at the same time, they can put up a very good fight. Now, the next unit is a naval unit. There's not much to say on this. There's not really that much to say. It's a pretty, as you can imagine, it's a pretty standard show here. So, this is actually something that thoroughly interests me. So, here it is. This is it. You can see it on the screen right now. And what this is it's basically a version of the combat fabricator for the land. And basically all it can do is place mines. And that's not a slight against it. Placing mines in the water are very cool. It is important to note actually that the mines are called landmines, irregardless of if they're on the land or the water, but whatever. Yeah, it's called the Barnacle, and its description says, to support barge, repairs damaged ships, builds and detects mines, cannot help build things. So yeah, it's really cool, and mines on the water are surprisingly effective, as you will be able to see very shortly indeed. Very powerful, and do a fair amount of damage to whatever the heck lands on it. So very interesting to see this. This is something that I think is good. Landmines, sea mines is not something that I've ever really wanted, but now I realize I should have wanted them in my life a long time ago. So as you can see, just the ships are getting absolutely wrecked there. Absolutely fantastic, and it's it's good for defenses, which is nice. Anyway, what are we moving on to here? Right, so we are moving on to the Lobber. Now the Lobber is basically the only new basic building. So when I say basic, it can't be built by the commander, but it can be built by any of the tier 1 fabricators, right? So it's pretty standard, pretty easy, and what it does is it fires doxes at the enemy opposing forces, and it fires at them automatically as soon as they get within range, as you can see. So it's pretty good. It's pretty exciting, and yeah, it's pretty good. But at the same time, they're pretty weak. So as you can see, Jake is managing to take out a couple of mine now, but he's backing off right now. But that's okay. I'll build some more, and because for demonstration purposes, I feel that building more is the right thing to do. But yeah, they are very, very good, and these can actually be used to sort of cheese out a large amount of units, and use this to invade enemy planets. So it's not immune to cheesy tactics, but at the same time, but yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty standard. I love the way that it fires them out automatically. You can't load any in. You can't change the production. It automatically builds. So if you do ever come into what am I talking about? If you ever have any power issues or metal issues, they are still going to build in the background. So you can stop them, but it's very much a stop or go. You can't build when you want to. It's just continuous. So that could be a negative if you really like to micromanage your economy. But yeah, as you can see, just fire Doxes. And against tanks, Doxes are pretty bad. But when you've built like 6 or 7 Lobbers, there's not much you can do, as we are away to find out. But yeah, I really, really like the Lobber. I think it's going to be a very, very interesting unit. I'm not entirely sure if it's going to have much defensive use. I mean, obviously it's got that offensive, cheesy use. But that, I think, is probably about it, because you'd have to have a lot of these to repel an attack, and the fact that you can't load them with any units other than Doxis makes it, a good unit and an interesting unit, but more conceptually useful than actually useful, I feel. So whatever. It's just one of those things. But yeah, we do eventually take out Jake's force, traveling at the speed of all 3 frames. I don't know why. Perhaps we were just firing so many units at the same time that it has a little bit of a hissy fit. But yeah, we managed to polish them up. I mean, it's a lot of Doxis right there, and countless died in order to defeat that army. But anyway, this is the last new unit that we're checking out, and it's basically a scout, basically an orbital scout. It's much cheaper to build than an Avenger or a Fabricator, and it travels slightly faster than an Avenger. And as you can see, it's got quite a large amount of vision on the ground, as opposed to an Avenger, which has none. Alright, so we're just going to do a little bit of a speed test right now, just to see which one goes faster. We'll start them both off at the same speed. Alright, great. They'll draw even, and we shall set a point there, and set a point there. And as you can see, the scout immediately, pulls into the lead, even though its route is slightly longer. And it's got a much larger area of vision. As we will see here. The Avenger has none, and the Scout has a lot, and there is Jake's base. That is fantastic. That is all, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very, very much. Hopefully you'll join us in the next episode when we'll be checking out the advanced units, but for now, I'll see you next time. Bye!